Hello, everybody. So, in today's episode, we're gonna do what I told you about 2 days ago. This video is again coming out late, but you will shortly see why that happened. So, this episode is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, we're starting off in the File Explorer. So, if you're using, I don't know, Linux or Mac, I don't know if you can develop, you probably can on Mac. But basically, so you want to create these folders. Lyphea and Lyphea API. So this will, in your case, be whatever, project name and project name API. All of the stuff that we created in the episodes before, excluding the .git, should be copied and pasted into Lyphea. After that is done, you will have something similar to this. So, I can show it to you. So you're gonna have this. So you're gonna have something like this. Let's replace all of these, whatever, and to continue. Okay, so this is used probably here already. So we go into Lyphea over here, and it should be something like this. Over here in IntelliJ IDEA, it should be something like this. So in here, you're gonna have to ignore that it's all red. You're gonna see how to fix it. So this is how it should look like, right? Source, Java, so everything should be here, right? So then we should create the API, of course, because this is a lot of stuff. So how the API is going to be working is we're going to do something like this. So all of the item stuff, most of everything actually is going to be placed here. But first of all, we want to do module. I want to create a Minecraft plugin, paper. So everything should be the same and just name it whatever. Again, Lyphea API in this case, right? And then after you created it, so let me show you what it should look like after. Okay, so this is how it should look like by the end. Basically, you're gonna have the commands, a custom GUI, which is going to be next episode, so we can delete that. The item register, which is like only this. No listeners, we can delete that. No managers, we can delete that. And no collections and no utilities. So this is all that you need in reality for your plugin. Meanwhile, the API is going to have all of the stuff, so all of the source GUI stuff, the actual GUI, GUI item, the list GUI. So this is sort of a spoiler, I guess, for the next episode, which you're gonna see. And then this is the custom item stuff. As you can see, not really complicated. We went through all of this. So it's just registering the custom item with the persistent data. But basically what I did is just move all of the stuff from the original plugin or structure of files to here. That is it. So yeah, but this isn't going to be what this episode is about. This is going to be how we're going to use the actual API. Because the creation of the API is actually quite simple. So first off, how you implement it is you have to go into here and find your API. There we go. Click build. So over here in the builds, libraries, this is it. By the way, be sure to name it. You can name it with a space, so just be sure over here in the plugin.yml and the resources, name it with an underscore, a slash or something, or not a slash, but a dash. Just not space and not those type of characters. Other than that, you should be good. But yeah, so after this, you go into libraries, copy this, and you should make over here in the Lyphea, in your source project file name, folder name, you should create a libraries or libs folder, and over there you should paste the API. After that, go into build.gradle, and you're going to import it. And importing is very simple. It is going to look literally something like this. Implementation, files, libs, so that is this folder. Lyphea API, so that is the name of the file. Also, of course, this doesn't have to be named like this. It can be anywhere. If it's easy for you, you can do something like run /plugins /Lyphea. So you can do something like this because the run plugins over here is going to be anyways, because you have to put the API plugin into the actual server to work. So this can also work. But for ease of use, if you want to have a server that isn't going to be running out of your coding environment always, you're probably going to have a libs Or you can also upload it to GitHub and use it sort of like this. But that's, I don't want to explain that. I can show it to you, but it's not going to be explained. It kind of takes too much time, if I'm being honest. So we're here for the actual plugin. I mean, even the custom player is just, this is me just experimenting, so you can see, I mean, this will work without it. There we go. I mean, after we copied everything to the API, why not do something like this? So we know the custom player is going to have the collection anyways, and the current collection is placed over here in the custom player manager. It's placed in as a field. Why not do custom player to actually have the collections? I think that would make a bit more sense. So let's initialize the player, I guess. So that would be over here, and the custom player we want to add. Okay, there we go. So this is what the collections are gonna look like. They're gonna be collection type and collection. So the index is going to be collection type, so we can easily sort it. And let's actually make the listeners. So let's do player break block listener. Okay, so there we go. First, we're gonna initialize the player, and over here we're gonna actually add the collections. It's gonna be combat and mining. So maybe an easier thing would be to actually loop over the collection types, but it's not difficult when we have only two types of collections. So over here we can actually delete this line. So we don't actually need any more collections in the fields because we have their own fields now, their own properties. But now that we did that, we can also implement the actual value of the collection. So let's do that. Okay, now we added the function to actually get the collection. It's going to be just named collection, and it's going to take in collection type as a parameter. Over here also we added a function in the collections, which is going to be just a getter over here for us to be able to actually get the amount, because that was missing for some reason. So that is it, and now let's do an adder, which we don't actually have to do since it's already built in over here. It is add collection amount. Okay, so how breaking the block works now, it basically, the custom player is gathered from the manager using the event and getting the player that broke the block, of course, and getting their unique ID. Then we get the custom player, then we get the NMS block. So how that works is we get the NMS and cast it into the craft block, and then just use get block to actually get the block, not the bucket block, but the world block. And then we get the hardness by rounding the default destroy time, rounding it to 2 digits. So what you could do is probably make a utility class just for rounding numbers to 2 digits. And then we get the hardness and add it to the collection amount. And then we just say to the player, so this is purely informative, that you received the amount of whatever. So that is going to be the amount over here. And then we, in what collection, so this is the mining collection you now have, and then we tell it how much XP he has in mining. So let's see how that looks. And let's break this, for example, leave. Okay, so we get 0.2 and that is 0.4, so we get 0.6, that is 2.0, and so on and so on. Right, so that is it for how breaking the block actually works. Now that we have collections fully working, that is it for the collections. From now on, we're just gonna expand the collections a little bit. We're gonna include placing, mining, foraging, stuff like that. And you're gonna see pretty soon we're gonna have a custom map. The custom map may not be downloadable since that is it for this episode. Hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you wanna share this to somebody, please do. If I missed anything or badly explained something or whatever, please leave a comment and I will maybe make a follow-up video or explain it in the comment. So yeah, but that is it for this episode. So there you go.